What is good, y'all? I am sorry I kept everybody waiting. What is popping? It is the most hated yet anticipated Mikey T, the movie star. I'm back with another exclusive. I'm back to feed the streets with some more information that y'all need. Really appreciate everybody tuning in right now. We have an epic discussion to have tonight. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late with it, but we got to talk Dipset versus the Locks. That's what we got to do. We got to talk the Verzuz battle put on by Swizz Beatz, Timbaland. Those guys really have come together to put together quite a spectacle of an event. We've seen quite a few different versus battles take place, some more popular than others, some kind of stunk the places out. We had a couple that weren't that interesting. But this one right here actually, excuse me, this one right here actually was a major spectacle. When I had first tuned in, there was over 300,000 viewers. There was over 340,000 viewers when I tuned in. It made it up. What was the highest amount of viewers anybody saw in here? I know it got up to over just about 650,000 viewers, but wow, let me just say that was the spectacle that I think New York deserved right there. And it was the first time that we got to really see two hip hop heavyweight groups go at one another. You know what I mean? Two groups that were actually pretty much on a level playing field when you look at the division of both groups. When you look at the fact that Cam, Jim, Juelz, they've had solo albums. You look at the other branch, you look at the Locks, Jadakiss, 5 albums. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. 5 albums. Styles P, Chic Luch, multiple albums as well. So these two groups coming up against each other, it was actually a formidable battle. Right. It was actually a formidable battle. Chris, I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And I definitely appreciate everybody who tapped in and watched my exclusive interview with Capone as he broke down some history that I think a lot of people might not have heard. Capone actually just went in an exclusive interview that we did. It was about an hour long, 55 minutes, and Capone broke down some stuff that you guys would not believe. So I'm going to go ahead and pin the link to my new interview with Capone in the chat so you guys can all check that out as well. But I've come tonight to talk about Dipset and the Locks, and we've begun to set it off. I saw somebody in the chat said it was a height of 647,000 viewers, you guys. When I was watching this versus, I was like, yo, I feel like I'm watching one of Tory Lanez's pop-in live videos, when the pandemic was really on and off and he really raised the bar with those live videos. But yeah, I'm posting the Capone interview right now so everybody could check it out. If you missed it, definitely a dope interview. I'm really proud of it. We really covered a lot of ground between the War Report all the way to, Channel 10 and the War Report 2. We covered the reunion, covered everything from Capone going to jail to them racking up that big bill before they went over to Def Jam Records, you guys. Yeah, we're going to get into it all. George McCarthy says, I didn't like Cam kicking Styles P. Ghost was about to drag Cam out that beach chair. I think it was, you mean Chic. Chic was really, yeah, that. But that was the one thing about this versus battle. They took it back to the status that Gucci Mane and Jeezy put it on, where they were actually talking trash to one another. You know what I'm saying? These guys were actually talking trash to one another, and they were putting on a great live show, as only New York can do. Not only New York. I mean, obviously, we saw it done in Atlanta. But before I bring in my guy, SV TWIZZ, I also want to say it was great to see. Actually, I'll bring TWIZZ on for this. What's up, my brother? SV TWIZZ, Somerville
Mikey,
building.
what's up, Mikey? What's going on, bro? How you feeling, man?
Bro, I'm great. We're a little late. We're a little late on
Definitely.
we're a little late on the Locks versus Dipset, but I think the news of Dark Low yesterday took precedent, TWIZZ. That's the only
Okay.
thing.
Definitely. But it's never too late to talk about that. That was a legendary situation right there, man.
Ooh, yeah, man. And I was just saying before you came on, I thought it was dope the show that they put on. We're gonna get into some of the antics from the show, but I thought it
Absolutely.
was dope how Styles P and Cameron actually came together today in a video and showed everyone, yo, we were putting on a show. It's not really
Definitely.
Dipset versus the Locks. There's no animosity. We were putting on a show.
Definitely. It's business first and foremost. You know what I mean?
Yep. So this is one of the popular words, Twiz. Matthew White says Jada manhandled them all night.
Well, that's what I loved about the whole thing is that, like, Kiss, for one, before the verses, we all know Panero and Jim Jones, they was going back and forth the whole John. Like, it was like them two going back and forth. Kiss wasn't tapping in on it. Luch wasn't tapping in on it. But when it came to game night, bro, Kiss showed, why he's even though the Locks they all even, not to put him above the group, but that showed why Kiss is like the heart, or should I say the soul of the Locks, man. You know what I mean? How he carried it and controlled the crowd. It added so much more value to the music that they had.
So Twiz, let's take it back. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning. Let's take it back to the initial buzz of this. I think everybody was thinking, I would love to see Dipset versus the Locks. I think this was as we could see by the numbers it drew, I think it was really a heavily anticipated battle. What were your initial thoughts when you first hear that this was happening?
Once I found out it was true, I was just ready for game night. Like we spoke before, Mikey, we was on stream probably. It might have been we talked about it a couple times, so you knew I was with the Locks, man. You know what I mean? But this just goes back to how the pandemic hit and everybody made lemonade out of lemons, man. Like if it wasn't for the pandemic, I feel like we would have never had the chance to not only see this great verses, but a lot of the other ones where we saw people on stage together on top of competing with each other, that they having fun, man. And I think it's a beautiful thing, man. That certain the Locks versus Dipset is something I could have never imagined in a million years with them two being on those two groups being on stage going back and forth.
Right. So the buzz was high up about this. I actually asked Ab his thoughts on the prospect of a battle with the Locks and Dipset. He had got back to me at first and said, I would love to see the Locks versus Dipset. That'll be classic. That'll be iconic. They're like two of my favorite groups. So Ab, even being a Philly dude, in Philly, you got State Property, you got Major Figures. There's more than that, obviously. But Ab co-signing these two groups as two of his favorite groups of all time, even coming from Philly. What are these two groups? Shed some light on that, Twiz. How much of an impact these two groups have had on the Philly hip-hop culture?
Well, I got a lot of homies that love Dipset, man. But when it comes to like me and the caliber of people I was around, it was always State Property and Locks. Like the Locks was the only group that could have won at State Property how they did, and still had the red carpet rolled out for them when they came to Philly. We love the Locks. The Locks is like they talk our lingo. They talk our lifestyle and things of that nature. And then you got a lot of people that love hitting clubs, love the party life. So that's as they call ballers, whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? So that's where Dipset was hitting hard for those type of guys. But the Locks was like they hit your heart, man. If you was in that struggle, you know what I mean? Like it just they talk a certain lingo that we really related to a lot.
So here we are so far. Ab is hot on seeing this battle. He said, I would love to see the Locks versus Dipset. That'll be iconic. They're like two of my favorite rap groups. And for everybody just tuning in, I know you remember this, Twiz, when we initially gave our thoughts on who we wanted to see win. I know
Facts.
you remember who I went with, Twiz.
Yeah, you went with the set, but ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I got certain homies that went with Dipset. You know what I mean? Not to take away from their music, they make great music. It just depends on what did that music do for you? And different artists and different songs do different things for different people.
Yeah, man. What was it, man? What was it that initially gave Dipset that edge? You know what I mean? Initially, it seemed like Dipset had the edge over the Locks. Was it based on their club and their radio anthems, would you say?
Yeah, that's what people was, trying to shed light to. But I think what a lot of people forget about is the history of the Locks. The Locks got anthems before Dipset was even a group. The only one that was close to their time of career was Cam, and Cam used to rap completely different than he did after the Dipset wave. When Dipset came, that's where Cam got the Patagiyaki. You know what I mean? He just got a whole different type of flow, and he mastered a whole different flow. But I feel like a lot of people overlooked and forgot about hits, including Dipset. You see how Juelz had mentioned, man, I don't think y'all, y'all my guys, but I don't think y'all like the ladies. And then what did they do after that? They dropped like legendary Jones for the ladies right after that.
Right, exactly. I think you're hitting on it perfectly right there, TWIZZ, where the Locks thought, where Dipset thought the Locks weren't going to be able to come, they eventually went right there. You know, you're not going to be able to come here, and they went right there with it. You know what I mean? When they performed, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. When they performed Ballin', one of the biggest records that everybody was waiting for, what happened? The Locks came back with All About the Benjamins. You know what I mean? They sort of, the Locks sort of perfectly placed their records, man.
Facts. They DJ did a hell of a job, man. And they talent just matched up with the DJ. Cause that was the only you got Kiss and Styles where they was doing certain songs where the song would be a certain beat, but the DJ has switched the beat up and they still on beat, but saying the same rap that goes to the original song. That was amazing, and that was talent right there.
So the word is buzzing about this battle. As soon as the battle is over, or even as soon as the battle's going, as you heard Kiss say, what did Kiss say? He said, "It's 26-2, baby." You know what I mean? The whole world pretty much knew, probably like a trending topic on social media, the Locks dominating Dipset. AR Rab got back to me, TWIZZ, and I want to get your thoughts on AR Rab's reaction, and everybody in the chat as well. Give your thoughts on AR Rab's reaction to the outcome of the Locks versus Dipset. This is from Ab, you guys. Ab said, "I heard about the verses. I heard the Locks crushed them. I kind of thought that it would be a little closer score than that because of Cam and all of his hits. But as a group, the Locks has more shit. But if I would have had to bet, I would have bet on the Locks. Everybody in Philly loves the Locks. We grew up on them. We just got up to 350 viewers. Right now, I'm with my guy SV TWIZZ, the hood blogger out of Somerville. SV TWIZZ, follow my brother, Life with the Philly fam. We are reading AR Rab's reaction to the versus battle with Dipset and the Locks. Now, Ab had initially said that I would love to see the Locks versus Dipset. Ab said that'll be iconic. They're like two of my favorite rap groups. So when I got that note from Ab, of course, I had to get his response to the outcome of the battle. It's pretty much widely known. Even on some headlines, TWIZZ, I read the word decimate. A lot of people are saying the Locks defeated Dipset. The word even reached the jails. This is what AR Rab had to say for everybody tuning in. Ab said, I had heard about that versus. I heard the Locks crushed them. I kind of thought it would be a little closer than that because of Cam and all of his hits. But as a group, the Locks has more shit. But if I would have had to bet, I would have bet on the Locks. Everybody in Philly loves the Locks. We grew up on them. TWIZZ, I want you to respond to that. Ab's initial thought of the outcome of this versus.
Definitely, man. And it's unfortunate you know, that Ab in the situation that he's in right now, and for everybody else in them jails, it would be thorough if they could at least get the what app the Versus was on, whatever that app is. It'd be thorough if they could get that and download that. You know what I mean? But you know, unfortunately, he ain't get to see it. But yeah, Ab hit it on the nose. Like I said, you know, my era and all of that. Like we locked state property. You know what I'm saying? Those was the two armies right there. But I knew a lot of people that loved Dipset too, and Dipset got those club hits. So basically, when it came to Dipset, it's like it was all about how the crowd reacted. You know, that was kind of like no different than a URL battle, because you got to get the crowd control. And I feel like Kiss was playing chess so much that the crowd wasn't even reacting to certain songs how they should have been. You know what I mean? And it's still legendary. They all got the bag at the end of the day. But you know, Ab definitely he hit it on the nose as far as, you know, I'm talking about. We rock with the locks and all of that, and Dipset definitely got hits for days. You know what I
Right.
mean? But you know, the locks is we talking about a group that was lit and relevant when Biggie was rapping. They could go on the track with Biggie and smoke it. You know what I mean? So we can't forget that.
Right. And Ab hit on the note right there that a lot of people were thinking. He said Cam and all of his hits. He thought it would have been closer because of Cam and all of his hits. And, you know, that's what I think a lot of people were thinking as well. But just to be honest, you know, going up against some of the Locks records and the Jada records and the stuff, I don't think some of those Dipset records really made that much sense. Like when Cam was performing Suck It or Not. Like
Yeah,
it didn't really make too much sense to me.
yeah. And one thing that I could think, and I got love for Dipset, not to throw shots at them, but I feel like they also came on that stage a little too big headed. Like I think they were relying on their hits to walk them down. You know what I mean? On top of them having a bumpy pass, you know, it was kind of off. Like it was times where they was performing, they should have all been participating. You know what I mean? Some of these songs should have been longer, man. Like if you got a song where Cam was ending it off, Cam should have ended it off, because the Locks ain't really they wasn't holding no punches. They was doing 3 songs at a time. You know what I'm saying? 3 verses off of different Jones. So I feel like they didn't come there prepared to fight like the Locks did. Like the Locks was coming there to make a statement.
Big facts. I definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. We got 400 people in the building. I know everybody wants to hear AR Rab's reaction to the Dipset and the Locks battle. Initially, Ab was very excited about this battle, going as far to say, I would love to see the Locks versus Dipset. That'll be iconic. They're like 2 of my favorite rap groups. Now, I'm going to ask you in regard to that, TWIZZ. Jadakiss called Cam and Dipset out. He said, we could have sat home and listened to Apple Music, baby.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Do you think that prospect of the Locks actually performing their music, putting the sweat on their face, and the Locks not giving that type of enthusiasm, did that make any less of an iconic battle?
Did it make it less iconic for the Dipset or?
For the fans.
No, it made it more iconic if you ask me, because you know that's like you got certain verses where you might have had some artists that were singers and they much older now and they don't got their voice no more. Those are the ones that's understood where they got to let the music play in the background. But we talking about all of those, everybody that was on the stage should still be able to rap. And I feel like when Kiss put the narrative out there that we ain't rapping over our words and nothing, that really had people like, damn, they not. You know what I mean? Then that made people even pay attention more. You know, that was hard work right there.
You're right. It added to the back and forth. You know what I
Facts.
mean? It added to the back and forth. Some of that we're going to get into because I let Ab know about some of it that was going on, and I just want to get your reaction to it as well. I hit Ab. I was like, yo, bro, the Locks completely wiped out Dipset. Jadakiss literally grabbed Juelz's bandana off his head and threw it on the stage. Right there. Let's go over that one first, man. Juelz is all over the place on this battle. You know, he's got his chest poked out. He's having fun.
Yeah.
And Jada ripped the bandana, the signature Juelz Santana bandana, off his head, threw it on the ground, man.
He
What
young
was
boy them. I'm like, he young boy Juelz. Juelz being
he
Juelz
young
being
boy?
he young boy them. On Juelz being the type of cool guy he is, with it being live like that, it's like, damn, he just did Juelz like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was entertainment, you know what I mean? And even a little bit later, Juelz said something about it, and Kiss grabbed Juelz's hand, like, come on, you can throw my head on the floor. So you know what I mean? It was like, whoa, that was one of those, that was a moment right there. That was a moment.
For everybody just tuning in right now, we're giving AR Rab's response plus our own to the Dipset versus the Lox battle. We got 508 people in here. Share this video, everybody. Let everyone know that TWIZZ and myself, Mikey T, the movie star, we're holding this shit down on all the hip-hop news topics. We're not in a box on this channel. We literally come on here and talk about anything, And for everybody that's been waiting for Ab's response to the battle that happened, he's got one, you guys. This is the first part of it right here. I'm going to read out to everybody. So this is Ab's first response, actually, to what happened within the battle. Ab said, I heard about the Lox versus Dipset, and I heard that the Lox crushed them. I kind of thought it would be a little bit of a closer score than that because of Cam and all of his hits. But as a group, the Lox has more shit. But if I would have had to bet, I would have bet on the Lox. Everybody in Philly loves the Lox. We grew up on them. Right there, Ab's words. That's Ab's first statement on the Lox and the Dipset battle. In a little bit, I'm going to give you a little bit more insight onto what he said about Cameron and Jadakiss. But y'all know, tuning in, I actually went with Dipset. But it seems like 3 out of 4 people from Philly would take the Lox over Dipset, TWIZZ?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You already know, Mikey, you did interview probably was like at least about 4 interviews from the time when we found out the news, and everybody, from Philly, everybody was LOX. It's just, we grew up on, we are the streets and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that, that they hit different, man. Gangsta and the Gentleman, Ghost in the Shell, all the Styles P, you know what I'm saying, mixtapes and all of that.
So I got to get your reaction to this next part. We thoroughly went over Kiss taking the bandana off of Juelz's head, which we've never seen happen before in life. You would never see somebody take that bandana off of Juelz's head in life. Thank you, Kiss, for giving us that moment. And it was even better because, they could look at each other and smile and laugh and know that it's for the culture. But so let's dig into this next part. So Juelz's bandana off his head. He got his bandana taken off his head. He got it thrown on the stage. And then the next big moment in my eyes, Cam brought out the lawn chair. Cam brought out the lawn chair, man. What was your thoughts when this guy brings off the lawn chair?
Well, they set it up when they first came out. I think they was like taking turns on the chair or something. But the biggest lawn chair incident was when Styles P was rapping in front of him and squatted down and all of that, and Cam started kicking. That's when I'm like, oh, like when she got in the middle of him and all of that, I'm like, that was a potential go left right there. Like P,
that
like,
that's a potential, as you say in Philly, a potential hurt piece.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know what I'm saying? That could have went left right there, but it didn't. You know what I mean? And
because TWIZZ, I hate to interrupt you, bro, but you don't ever interrupt a man on his lawn chair.
You also don't throw a kick at Styles P. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
P got a perception to hold up. He like, hold up, it's a million people. There's millions of people watching this. We ain't doing that, bro. I'm about to take it.
TWIZZ, I had this written down. I wanted to ask you and everybody in the chat. We got 600 people in here. The lawn chair. Cameron is famously known for that lawn chair. Was it during the beginning of the 50 Cent beef when he went out to Florida or whatever. He went
I'm
out to
not.
Florida and he had a lawn chair. He had
I can't give you 100% answer on that one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that was about, but that's a possibility. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
that's when we first saw the lawn chair, was when Cameron had
Okay.
that crib in Miami and he was like, yo, I'm retiring from hip hop or something like that. But hold on one second. We got 625 people in the building. I know everybody wants to hear what AR Rab had to say about the Verzuz battle. So I'm going to give you this quote if you're just tuning in. AR Rab said, I had heard about that Verzuz. I heard that the Locks crushed them. I kind of thought it would be a little bit closer score than that because of Cam and all of his hits. But as a group, the Locks has more shit. But if I would have had to bet, I would have bet on the Locks. Everybody in Philly loves the Locks. We grew up on them. TWIZZ, you would have put your money on the Locks. Why didn't you put some bread up on it, bro?
Ain't nobody. Everybody I know is Locks fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no vicious better anyway, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean I ain't no vicious betting bull, but all my folks, we all Locks fans, man. We grew up to Locks. Like I said, Locks state property. You know what I'm saying? State property rock, should I add? Locks D Block. Those was the two groups that carried us.
I see what you're saying, TWIZZ. Nobody would actually bet against you, so there was legitimately no money to be made. That's
Facts.
kind of why, like, Ab would have to go outside of the city when he was doing bets and stuff, I guess. You know, like the football bet,
Facts.
basketball bets.
Facts. Like if Ed was home, he would have easily been able to bet somebody from New York, one of them New York rappers. Even though New York loved Locks too, they all New York artists, but it was the Dipset got a fan base though. A lot of people was rooting for him.
So another major part of this battle that I want to dip into is when Max B came up. You had to know Max B was going to come up in this battle, TWIZZ, or no?
I didn't know it would have came up like that. You know what I mean?
I
It was
figured it
like,
would.
dang,
I
yeah, I
figured
mean
it
that,
would. I
how
mean,
it came.
aside from ballin', TWIZZ, because everybody
Yeah,
knows Max B's associated with ballin'. We heard we heard a couple. We heard another Max B record played, but then Styles P really hit me hard when he said, "I was with Max B for the last 3 weeks until he was released from prison."
that's
You're
what I
like,
was talking about. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I didn't expect that right there. I'm like, damn, Pete Panero throwing low blows. You know what I mean? That was a low blow if you ask me, because we all know the history allegedly Jones and Max B. So that joint was like, that joint was crazy.
Jayceon says, I wish they would have played. I wish they would have played Henny from Max B. Well, that was a Freaky Zeke record right there, bro. That was a Freaky Zeke record right there. We just touched 700 people in the building. Really appreciate everybody tapping in. You know, SV TWIZZ and myself had to come on here to actually give our thoughts on this epic versus battle, man. And I'm going to post both of our grams up. I want you guys to follow me on the gram, and I'm going to give you all an immediate follow back. Also, follow TWIZZ on the gram. He's active, but he's also on YouTube. So tap him with SV TWIZZ because he's definitely got some potent. He's got some potent views for the internet, man. That's why I be having him on the channel. They call him the Hood Blogger because he goes
Definitely,
out there and he captures all types of crazy shit that's going on in Philly, man. He's got his own
definitely
perspective.
appreciate it.
Yeah, Freaky Zeke raps, man. Freaky Zeke has a but he had an album called The Book of Ezekiel when he got out
He
of jail.
he definitely rapped, but he was Diddy bopping that night. We can't say he wasn't. Freaky was getting loose on that stage, bro. Like it's like when he took that sweatsuit off that night, that joint probably was still moving around. Like he was getting so loose, bro. Like he was playing his position on it. You know what I'm saying? He was hype man for real.
So, TWIZZ, what's been the talk all over Philly about this battle, man? Has there been any talk in the streets about it when you and any of your homies and shit?
It
Yo, the Locks got them, da 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 da.
it was just like what happened to what we expected. You know what I mean? It's like watching a Tank Davis fight or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You going to expect a knockout, even though the opponents they go against, it's like you be expecting other people gonna have a perspective, but it was like, yeah, like it for me personally, man. I feel like the Locks deserve that light because let's look at the Locks' career. Not to get in too much in depth, but you know, earlier in their career, they was making hits. They was rapping with the best of them. You know what I mean? And they felt like, as the world know, they might not have got the promotion that they didn't deserve, that they deserved. Now we in the internet era where it's harder for the OGs of rap to grasp onto that younger crowd. So it's a lot of people that didn't grow up listening to the Locks and they might not have been in a playlist, but that shit light on them. And on top of that,
Twiz, you're right, because actually, something that I wanted to bring up as well, after this battle, Jadakiss's record sales skyrocketed, Twiz. You know what I mean?
facts,
When you do something like this, that's sort of the outcome that you want to have. Jadakiss's all of his albums, his last few albums, all went on all the iTunes charts after this Verzuz. You know, when you
facts,
do something like this, when you become the spectacle, that's what you want to happen. You want to hold on to it. You want to make everybody that is watching you go check out all of your other shit, which is why
facts.
I want y'all in here right now to check out my exclusive interview with Capone. I actually did an interview with Capone of CNN. I got it pinned up right now.
Legend.
It's one of my favorite interviews, man. We really uncover some details about the war report, about the reunion. He talks to me about Foxy Brown coming in and dissing Little Kim heavy on the joint. But yeah, tonight we're talking about the Locks versus Dipset. Let's get back into it. I want to talk about when the Locks performed All About the Benjamins. The Locks performed All About the Benjamins, and it pretty much blew Ballin'. It pretty much blew Ballin' out of there. I mean, Ballin', such a heavy record, Twiz. Everybody was probably thinking, how are they going to come back from Ballin'? But All About the Benjamins.
Facts. Facts. You gotta remember that's all about the Benjamins, man. Now we digging into history right there. We're balling, not to take nothing away from it, but when it came out, you heard it every 20 seconds. It got jammed in your head. They did all about them Benjamins. It's just reminding people like we've been
All
doing these
About the
hits.
Benjamins. All About the Benjamins. You had to run to your car, turn the
Facts.
radio on. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying
Facts.
there, Twiz. Ballin' was such on a repetitive, you know what I mean, replay.
Facts.
You were forced to hear it. Hell, it probably even appeared in a couple commercials or something like that.
Facts. Facts. They was jamming that on people. So that just stuck in your head. Not to take nothing away from it, but it's facts.
But you know, also one of the major points I wanted to tap in on. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We got 800 people in the building tonight. Me and my guy S. Twiz, Somerville Twiz, Mikey T, the movie star. We back at it tonight. We're giving AR Rab's thoughts on the Dipset versus Locks battle, you guys. So Twiz, another note that I wanted to touch on there was that when they performed All About the Benjamins, you know, Juelz Santana, the Dipset, they were like, oh, everyone was saying you should have brought out Diddy. Oh, why are you singing Diddy's part of the song? Let's go over that first. Before we touch on any special guests being brought out, let's go over the Locks performing All About the Benjamins, actually doing Diddy's verse. Jadakiss simply responded, I wrote that record. What's your take on that, Twiz? I thought that was hard.
Well, I got two different outlooks on it. First and foremost, I feel like Kiss knew that he knew how Cam and them is, that they was gonna probably say something. I feel like he did that on purpose just to throw that out there. And also anybody that's fans of the Locks or even know anything about Diddy career is that every rap that he damn near had was ghost wrote. If it wasn't by it was ghost wrote by somebody, you know what I mean? And Kiss was ghost writing a lot of his shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That ain't the only one right there. You got Ness that was with him that ghost wrote for him for the little bit of time he was with him. So it ain't no secret that Diddy get ghost wrote for.
Yeah, so another aspect of it I want to touch on is the aspect of bringing in guests. Now, a lot of people on the internet were hoping that special guests came in, you know what I mean? But honestly, look at the stage that we got set, TWIZZ.
That's true.
We had 7 of the best in the game on that stage. To bring in, I saw in the chat they were saying that the Locks did want to bring in Mace. That would have been something. That would have been something to bring in Mace.
That would have been crazy if they would have brought Mason. Man, listen, Mace, regardless of him, but whatever he is, became a pastor and all that. Mace was a lyrical monster, bro. I'm talking about Mace and Kiss back then, bro. They used to walk shit down together, bro. Like Mace was a lyrical beast, and the crowd would have went crazy if Mace came. But
right.
they ain't bring it.
And TWIZZ, the whole past of Mace with Cameron and Mace with Jim Jones. You know what I'm saying? That whole past. That would have been crazy to see. Wow, we just hit 900 live viewers. So much for anybody asking, where's the 1,000 viewers? Everybody, we appreciate you for sticking in with this, man. Mikey T, the movie star here. I'm going to keep on giving you them hot interviews. Everybody hit the link in my bio if you want to see my most recent interview with Capone. But tonight, we are giving our thoughts on the Locks versus Dipset, a battle that I think nobody ever thought they were going to see, TWIZZ, especially not like that. I don't think anybody thought they were going to see a battle like that. You know what I mean? Between these two groups, you know, and jumping on the stage and actually showing all of those New York antics of grabbing each other's head garment. You know what I mean? Dissing each other to their face. I don't think the people thought they were in for all that, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I feel like Dipset, I feel like they would have been able to go harder. I feel like they lacked a communication as far as rehearsing and all that. Something deep down inside is telling me Cam was too busy for a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Because they should have been way. They should have been ready to pull out a rabbit out they hat. You know what I'm saying? In that joint, they should have been really there, really performing. And it's a lot more than coming on the stage being drippy and all that and walking around looking cool, man. And they had like 50 niggas with them when they came on the stage.
Well, yeah, that was to be expected. Multiple people on stage. That was definitely to be expected. You know, that's one thing I love about the New York hip hop scene, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. I know you're all here to see what AR Rab had to say about the Dipset versus Locks battle, but I definitely appreciate y'all tapping in on our thoughts as well. We're going to get right back into it right here because I let Ab know that today I was going in on Cam and Jadakiss. I said, I'm going in today on the Cam and Jadakiss topic. I said, you always mostly been Jadakiss over Cam, Ab? I like the way that Cam built his label, The Diplomats, up without getting held down by the major labels. But Jadakiss is still hot today. You know, Jadakiss is still hot today, whereas the record label that Cameron built up is something to be respected for years to come, in my opinion. Before we get into Ab's thoughts on Cam versus Jadakiss, what's your thoughts real quick on their two careers compared, TWIZZ?
On they two, you know, Cam is definitely business minded, but when we talking about lyrics and things of that nature, man, I feel like Kiss probably could have aired the whole Dipset out by himself that night. You know what I'm saying? The energy he had, he can rap better than everybody in Dipset individually. Same with Styles. Styles can rap better than everybody individual in Dipset. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, that's my comparison. It's about what they talk about. I wasn't no vicious boy going to clubs wearing pink mink coats with pink Range Rovers. You know what I'm talking about? So Kiss lingo hit different. Styles P lingo hit different. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. I definitely hear you on that. You know, I think a lot of people love Cam and Jada for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, look right here. People just shouting out Cameron's albums and stuff. Top 5 Dead or Alive. Also, you have to remember the original trilogy that Cameron put out. You know what I mean? The Last Kiss, Kiss Your Ass. You know what I mean? He wanted to call his the third album in that trilogy Kiss My Ass, but they had to change it to The Last Kiss, if you remember that.
Yeah, definitely. Kiss of Death, all that, man. Every joint hit hard. Kiss, Kiss and Fab is like two of the most consistent rappers that's still relevant for their time frame. Meaning they ain't lose a step. Kiss and Fab, bro, they both is super consistent.
Just got 1,000 people in here right now. We got 990 people in here. So this is what AR Rab had to say in relation to Jadakiss and Cameron. Ab said, "This is a tough one, bro. This is a tough one, bro. I think Kiss had more longevity as being relevant than Cam. And I believe Kiss is better lyrically. But I think Cam had the better solo albums. Cam's first album, Confessions of Fire, is one of the first albums I paid my own money for. I don't think Kiss had a better album than SDE. I don't think Kiss had a better album than that or SDE. Salute everybody in the chat. I'm reading AR Rab's thoughts. We got 1,000 people in here right now, Twiz. We just hit 1,000.
Salute to everybody in here, man. Salute to the world, man.
I'm reading AR Rab's thoughts right now. For everybody just tuned in, I'm reading AR Rab's thoughts on the battle between Dipset and the Locks. I'm reading Ab's thoughts on the Verzuz battle. I'm going to read everything all together right now. Ab said, I had heard about that Verzuz. I heard that the Locks crushed them. I kind of thought it would be a little bit closer score than that because of Cam and all of his hits. But as a group, the Locks has more shit. But if I would have had to bet, I would have bet on the Locks. Everybody in Philly loves the Locks. We grew up on them. Ab also went on. He said, this is a tough one, bro. I think that Kiss has had more longevity as being relevant than Cam. And I believe that Kiss is better lyrically. But I think Cam had the better solo albums. Cam's first album, Confessions of Fire, is one of the first albums I paid my own money for. I don't think Kiss had a better album than that or SDE. But Cam made the better business moves and probably made more money, and Cam changed the independent and mixtape game. I am a huge fan of both of them. How about that, Twiz? AR Rab broke down like so much right there, giving each artist their credit. You know what I mean?
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? I disagree with Ab as far as the album wise thing. Me personally, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, hell with albums. Kiss mixtapes is better than all Cam albums and his mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Purple Haze?
Yeah. Kiss is too lyrical for me, man. Like I never purchased the Cameron album, and you know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm going to disagree with you as well, Twiz, because I've actually gone into the store and I've actually purchased Cameron albums. You know what I mean? Not to say I haven't purchased Jadakiss's albums, but I'm just saying purchasing The Last Kiss with his Mariah Carey album feature, it wasn't on everybody's to-do list.
Yeah, but you know, Kiss is just an all-around better rapper. I couldn't compare them two as far as that's like real rap, DMW. You already know. Like I gotta disagree with Adam on that, and we can talk about
Kill a Season soundtrack. We got some debate going on.
Right, listen. I'm gonna tell you all the truth. Y'all want to know why Cam shit hits so hard? It's because of the beats he be having. Like Cam beats hit hard. We all gotta agree with that. And Kiss will rap off of anything. Like that's the difference. Cam can only rap on certain beats. Cam couldn't rap on half of the beats that Kiss rap on his albums. He wouldn't know how to. He wouldn't know how to approach it.
And Twiz, I think some of those beats that Dipset had worked against them at the Verzuz battle. I think some of those beats were just, compared to what the Locks had. The Locks' music just seemed like it personally hit more compared to Dipset's music. You know, that's great music to bop up and down and pop a bottle. You know what I mean? But a Verzuz, You want that to hit you in your heart to make you say, this is why I'm siding with this guy. You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts.
It's really what it comes down to right there. So TWIZZ, let's get back into it, man. You know, I think we really have covered this thing from a really great aspect. You know, how do you feel that each member of each group was utilized, TWIZZ?
It was pretty good. You know, I we all pretty much knew Hell Row wasn't going to be there for their own reasons. You know, that's understandable. Hell Row wasn't there. Um, I feel like Dipset could have did better as a group. They needed more energy. You know what I mean? There was a point where Juelz was out there just rapping. You know what I mean? Cam was being a little too cool. You know what I mean? I feel like Dipset should have had a little more energy. You know what I mean? And Jim Jones, he had energy when it was his time to rap, but as much as he was talking, he let's not forget Jim Jones was a hype man too. He was one of the biggest hype men when Dipset was rapping. Other than that, you know, with Freaky Zeke getting loose on the stage, you know what I'm talking about? That was pretty much it right there. I'm
Yo,
telling y'all
and
that
TWIZZ,
sweatsuit's still moving, y'all.
TWIZZ, to branch off from that a little bit, TWIZZ, you know, by the way you're explaining how the members of the group were utilized, to me, I was thinking about it, and honestly, man, if the Locks were to do another versus battle against like 50 and G Unit, it's like you can't just have the one member of the group who's there doing everything. It's like they've all got to kind of come together. So it's like I don't know if G Unit would really measure up against the Locks either, man.
No, they wouldn't measure up against the Locks either. They couldn't measure up against the Locks. Thanks to hottest nigga in G Unit, if you ask me. He can rap the best. Besides that original 50, the 50 that was coming up, anything after Get Rich or Die Trying, you know, it wasn't hitting as hard as Get Rich or Die Trying and before. But Get Rich or Die Trying was that work. That was the joint. I definitely bought that album. I ain't even going to tip, but I can't really put nobody up against the Locks. The Locks,
You really can't after witnessing that. You
you
know what I mean?
can't.
I would have thought, you know, like I was saying, like honestly, Jim and Juelz both have platinum albums. So on paper, they are a good matchup against Styles and Sheik, who will both have albums out, and Jadakiss, obviously. It's a good
Facts.
matchup on paper, but they just didn't really show up as much as everyone would have thought because at one point, Cameron said, y'all is like some really good side dishes. Y'all
Facts.
is y'all are making this a mixtape versus. Yo,
It's
I'm sorry if people love the mixtape shit more than they love some of the commercial shit. In reality, a lot of the times mixtape level records end up becoming popular records based on
facts.
based on the demand. Beamer Benzer Bentley went from being a mixtape cut to leading an album, TWIZZ. What was the one? Rider Part 2 from G Unit. That went from being a mixtape cut to the lead single off Terminate on Sight. You know? So a lot of
It's,
times the mixtape records will do shit for the artists.
and let me rephrase what I said. It's only one group that would have that could definitely salute roll rap Jumar. You already know. It's only one group that would give the Lock smoke, but it would have to be under one circumstance, and that group is state property. But the only circumstance it gotta be, Mikey, it can't just be state property. They would have to bring Hove and Dame out. It would have to be the Rockaware state property wave. It would have to be the Rockaware state property wave. If they could bring Hove and Dame, they don't. And I know Hove and Dame is this is just like a imaginary John. Hove, Dame, and state property, bro. The Locks wouldn't have been able to be showing off like that. It would have been a war on that stage, bro. It would have been a war on that stage. State property with Hove, you know what I'm saying, and Dame on that stage, bro. You know how many hits that they got. I'm still rocking. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking. That would be a good fight, man. That's like seeing two of your favorite teams. Because when the Locks and State Property was going back and forth, I was still rooting for the Locks. That's why I said, listen, State Property, they suck. Y'all got to remember, I said, Jay-Z, do y'all not realize the hits Do y'all not realize the hits that Rockefeller and State Property had together? Real rap. That would have been a war. I'm saying that's the only group I can see going up against them. I ain't say they would have smoked them. No,
Well,
State.
let's talk about the outcome. We've talked about the outcome from this battle briefly with Jadakiss, who has multiple albums out right now. His sales really rising. I forget my man's at the beach party. All right, Shay, salute, fam.
Who that? Shay Davis.
Yeah, sounds good. Salute the big bro, Shay Davis. Everybody in here, go shoot Shay Davis a follow. Told him Mikey T sent you. Shoot him that follow right now. Shoot him a comment. Be like, yo, Mikey T sent me, Shay. Let's see if we can turn Shay up a little bit, man. Major salute to Shay Davis. Everybody go tag Shay Davis on IG right now. Let him know Mikey T sent me. But I want to talk about the outcome of the battle. You know what I mean? Like Jadakiss having some good sales. There's been rumors now that there's potentially going to be a tour, a Locks and a Dipset tour. And I don't want to go too far, but they're saying State Property could potentially be joining them.
Yeah, they're gonna be on that too. They all going on tour together. State Prop, Dipset, and the Locks. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So take me into it. What do you think about that, TWIZZ, man?
Man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Once again, like I said, these is rappers that everybody that's in here, y'all know, man. If y'all ain't too young, y'all remember before this internet wave where we had to wait for CDs to drop, whether they was bootleg or whatever, however you purchased them, man. We had to wait for diss tracks and all of that through CDs. So I salute them for being a part of this new internet wave and still being able to, do good and all of that and win during this time of music, because music has changed so much that a lot of original MCs, they don't get the credit they deserve, or they got to switch up their style and be on this new style of music just to get some type of, some type of views or whatever you want to call it, man. So it's a beautiful thing that, that all three of them groups get to go on tour, man. And take it back, to like the backstage days and all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think it's a great idea. I think it's money. You know what I mean? Putting these two groups together on a tour, sort of like when Lil Wayne and Drake did their Verzuz tour. When they would there was something happening to every night, a different one would close. But in relation to State Property joining this tour, I think that's great because I had just seen young Chris actually out at the Met at Gilly's show. I seen young Chris out at the Met, and I was really commending him because Beanie, young Chris, Petey Crack, they've all been touring. Like he told me, it's not an official tour what we've been on lately, but we've been doing spot dates. People always want to book State Property, so I think it's strong that they're going to get a chance to go on this tour.
Damn, that's what's up. Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah, man. What do you think the ticket sales will be like, TWIZZ? I think people are going to be clamoring to go see this live.
Yeah, man. If long as the promotion is right, man, people love them, man. People love them, man. Just like people was counting out the Locks versus the Dipset where they was talking hits. We ain't gonna forget what State Property did. State Property was the only group that was giving the Locks any kind of smoke. Nobody in history gave the Locks any kind of smoke, man. Let's not forget that.
Anything. What does that have to do? Drake by himself beats MMG. That doesn't even make sense. Right here, Onyx would be good, but not for the Locks. Yeah, Onyx and the Locks wouldn't be a good versus battle.
Yeah, Onyx would have to battle, Definitely want to do that, I don't know, man. Onyx first Naughty by Nature is something.
Okay, Robert, what up, man? Straight from VA. What's popping? Okay, here's another thing right here. No Strays Entertainment in the building says, it was more beans with all the smoke, not state property.
No,
Um,
that ain't true. That's not true. Chris and them was bombing. O and them was bombing. Well, O ain't bomb on the locks, but he definitely aired Nas out. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But we gotta remember, you crazy. Hot 97 on the flex, John. What? They got under the lock skin. Why you think with the stuff with 50 and all that in G Unit, why you think it was no rapping from 50 and them side? Because people wouldn't even play with the locks like that. Let's think of the time frame it was and everything. It got serious. That joint got serious. And listen, Mikey, you know what I'm saying? We had Snipe Life on here. You had Snipe Life on here. He spoke on it behind the scenes how the locks felt. You know what I'm saying? I even did a joint with Bully. Bully spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? So it was real, like that. It was
facts,
serious. You even heard
facts,
kissing them. You even heard kissing them saying like those niggas could really rap. Sheik and all
facts,
of them like yo, they was hitting hard. Like
facts. I'm like that Drake song. You know that Drake song that's like, facts,
real rap.
facts. Nah,
It
man,
was
Twiz is going to sit up here and Twiz is going to speak facts to you guys. He's going to speak knowledge to you. You know, he's not, he wasn't going in on you. He was just sort of like, if you didn't know, he was
yeah,
informing.
definitely not going in. I'm just we this a barbershop conversation, y'all. Nothing personal or nothing. We just talking like men and you know what I'm saying, hip hop heads.
Now, Twiz, I'm going to say something here that I had thought we can dig into it a little bit deeper when we do an official video on Nori versus Beanie Siegel with AR Rab's thoughts actually on that. But let me ask you about this, man. With seeing what Jadakiss did on that stage tonight, or not tonight, excuse me, a few nights ago, with seeing what Jadakiss did on that stage, Jadakiss versus Beanie Siegel versus battle, it really doesn't seem like the right one for Jadakiss in a solo platform anymore, does it?
Jadakiss versus Siegel.
Yeah, I don't think that would be. I don't think that would be as hype
See,
as we once thought.
but Siegel versus Styles could happen.
Siegel versus Styles. Siegel versus Styles.
Siegel versus Styles could happen. Let's not forget Kiss already did a joint with Fab way
Right.
before this. So Kiss and Beans and Pinero, I would have loved to see that over Nori and Beans. Even though I know what Nori doing, Nori is really showing love to see, you know what I'm saying, to even throw that offer out there because out of all the artists, he could have won that. Let's think of when Nori came out. You know what I mean? For him to mention Sieg, that says a lot right there.
Right. And then look at the fact that they had Beanie Siegel come on Drink Champs. You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts. It's all love. It's like friendly, you know what I'm saying? It's a all love competitional thing. So
Primo
that's
says Banks. Banks versus Jada for the crown.
Jada will smoke Banks.
Right. I think honestly, Jada needs a more like a real high quality opponent next, man. Who comes to your mind as I'm saying all this, man? Like it
They
needs Jada versus 50, if anything.
Jada will smoke 52. But listen, you know what I'm saying? The only person that I could have potentially saw go neck and neck with Kiss was Fab. Other than that,
Play
Mace
this
is the Mace could kind of, but he wasn't as active. Like with him becoming a pastor and him losing, I don't feel like his flow and all that is probably not as official as it was in the '90s. But Mace was definitely he like I'm talking about the murder Mace, like you know what I'm saying? Everything from Harlem World and before that, you know what I'm saying? Mace was a beast. He was also another person that could rap with Big.
Right here, Ernest J says, say what y'all want, but Ja Rule versus 50 Cent is the one for the ages. Let me flip that to you, Twiz, because at one time it was going to be Jeezy versus T.I. in a versus battle. You remember?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Now, when they got Gucci Man signed on, they immediately new verses, Gucci versus
Yeah,
Gucci. It took precedent, right? So
yeah.
let me ask you, if they got 50 Cent signed on to do a verses with Jadakiss, and then out of the blue, Ja Rule accepts, and 50's okay with it, do they bump Kiss for Ja Rule?
Hell yeah, I feel like they would. I feel
Yeah.
like they would.
It's a matter of marketing.
Yeah, they would do that. It would be good for Ja Rule, but you know, 50 going he gonna make it from 6 feet deep to 12 feet deep. Cause kid 50 got some disrespectful shit that it'd be just like how it'd probably be worse. It would be worse than Jeezy and Gucci if you ask me.
Hey,
Cause
bro, you're
50
right. You're right too because Jadakiss, as you said, would smoke 50. You know what I mean?
facts,
Smoke him like
facts,
some brisket. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
50 and Ja Rule would be a little bit more up in the air, correct?
Yeah, the thing about 50 and Ja Rule is because it would be so personal, man. We know that their past and all that. And Ja Rule would have so much to prove, and 50 wouldn't want to get embarrassed. But 50 mouthpiece is crazy. He would be saying certain things on the stage in between the verses. You know, Ja Rule would bring Irv Gotti out for that one.
Yep. All types of stuff, man. All types of stuff he could potentially do. You know, I like when we saw Jeezy and Gucci go at it, the numbers were high as well because of that personal factor.
Exactly.
The difference with the Locks and Dipset, nobody knew it was going to be such a personal battle. You know, nobody knew
Yeah.
that. It was the entertainment factor. It was the talent factor that drew the people into that battle, right?
Yeah, because like when you listen to when you think of the Locks, one of the most grimiest people you thinking of is Styles P. We talking about griminess. Kiss is a laid back guy. So Kiss having the energy that he had on that stage, bro, it really turned it up a whole lot. It kind of brought back memories of when Kiss came out the powerhouse joint and all that and start bombing on beans in the middle of Philly. It brought that energy back. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I Kiss did an excellent job, man. Kiss made it as much of a KO as it was. And let's not forget, y'all, this was a handicap match, man. It was three rappers against the old Dipset. You know what I mean? Dipset got plenty of tracks where their whole team is on the joint. So it was a handicap match, and the least rappers won, man.
You know, that's interesting you brought up Hell Rell a little bit earlier because at one point, Styles P and Hell Rell were going back and forth about who was the most gangster rapper, or was it a different phrase?
I don't know. I didn't see that, but I don't
It
even know
was
why.
who was the most, yeah, they were going back and forth with who was
What?
the most hardcore rapper. So
Yeah,
if Dipset could have brought Hell Rell out to counter that, you
they
know?
could have, but it don't get grimier than Panero, man. Styles P, you know what I'm saying? Styles P start pulling out that Ghost in the Shell shit on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't did you give me your thoughts earlier? I don't think you gave me your thoughts earlier when Styles P brought up how he had such a relationship with Max B that
Yeah. It was a low blow for Jones, if you ask me. I'm like, damn, he really up here saying that. You know what I'm saying? As far as because if you know the history, you know that Max B and Jim Jones. I'm like, damn, like this is one of them Jones where I'm like, they getting a little personal now. You know what I'm saying? It was you know what I'm saying? But it's entertainment, and Jones ain't take it personal because he
thank
came
God.
back after it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Thank God he didn't. He always takes it so personal when people bring up Max B. You know what I mean? Uh Even Cameron has gone as far to say that if Jim Jones would have released albums from Max B and Rest in Peace Stack Bundles, that they would be in a whole world of a different position. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know if you heard that, Twiz.
Yeah, man, and not to speak on it, but you know, stack bundles deserve definitely a lot more light, man. Stack bundles, it was stack bundle situation was very unfortunate, man. You know, rest in peace to him, man, and Max B at the end of the day, you know, he just gonna come home and he gonna jump into the mix. You know what I mean? So it's not too late for him. His name is still his name, and Max B helped a lot of people out his damn self. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he just got to come home, man. But
Yeah, you know, Twiz, if Stack Bundles and Max B were just a little bit further in the future, you know, with where hip hop went, they wouldn't even have been in those positions that they were in, man. Like after Stack passed and after Max B went to jail, hip hop started becoming such a commodity where artists were making just so much money that they were changing their like look with the Migos and all the talent from Atlanta.
Facts, and Max B was one of the first niggas singing on his songs and shit like that. Like Max B was on some real shit. Like you pay attention, he was like singing on shit back then. Like you know what I'm talking about. And then like Drake had came out and changed the whole game and shit. Like Drake and Future and all that with the harmonizing and the.
Yeah, we should do a Mikey T versus DJ Vlad versus interview series.
Question for question, nigga.
we could both be up there. Me and Vlad could both be up there, and we could show different parts from our interviews. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, and I got this joint right here. And then Vlad would come back. Oh, well, to counter that, I got the story about how Tupac actually got. And then I'd come back and I'd be like, well, I got this story about Beanie Siegel. And then he'd come back with it'd be a crazy versus. But yeah, man. I'm not.
You rolling that gas up, Mikey?
Yes, sir. Rolling up some Gary Payton.
Gary Payton, you still smoking that Gary Payton, that joint? That joint must hit.
Yo, I got like 2 O's of it.
Dang. You take the Gary Payton over the runts?
Well, no runts is around right now.
Oh, all right.
Somebody actually from Philly hit me up. They were like, they thought I was in Philly, so they was trying to give me the connect for the gas. But I was like, nah, I'm not in Philly, bro. I'm not in Philly, bro. And he's like, well, Mikey, I do deliveries. I'm like, bro, I'm not worried about that. T-Pain versus Ty Dolla $ign. I mess with Ty Dolla $ign. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, T-Pain is one of the godfathers of this shit, man. Listen, bro. We speak on Future. We speak on all these guys using these auto tunes, whatever you call that, man. T-Pain was the originator of that. T-Pain was the originator of switching the voice up on the track.
Okay, so you're going against me on that one. Okay, I love it. We got two different perspectives.
So who you think started it, Mikey?
I'm not saying it's about who started it, man. Gary overruns all day. I'm not saying it's who started it. I'm saying it's who perfected it, bro. Who perfected it. And I think Ty Dolla $ign is a much better artist than T-Pain. And I think longevity-wise might prove it. Although you might say, well, Mikey T, Ty Dolla $ign's a little cold right now, whereas T-Pain was hot for 10 years.
Well, perfecting it is one thing, but when you create a wave, that means a lot. Michael Jordan might could dunk better than Dr. J, but Dr. J made the windmill important as it was. You know what I'm talking about? So without T-Pain, you know, these guys wouldn't even have had that wave of music. Yeah, T-Pain started it. T-Pain was doing it when people ain't know what it was. Like, we couldn't be like, oh, he auto-tuning and nothing like that. He was ahead of his time.
Yo,
you still smoking on that Dipset?
They haven't run out of the Dipset pack yet, TWIZZ.
The Dipset pack.
That's a whole pound bag right there. People is going to be smoking from that Dipset pack for the rest of till the next verses. That's one thing that I respect though about T-Pain is that I guess he came in early with Akon. You know what I mean? Akon, I guess Akon put a lot of people on, man.
Yeah, well, you know, if it wasn't for Styles P, we wouldn't even know who Akon was. Through my perspective, you know what I'm saying?
Naja says T-Pain definitely working over Ty Dolla $ign. Okay, this is interesting. Mr. Showtime 1K says T.I. versus Jadakiss.
No comparison. T.I. not lyrical enough.
T.I. is not lyrical enough, right? T.I. has
not lyrical enough.
T.I. has anthems, you know?
Yeah.
T.I. has anthems.
T.I. versus Luda.
T.I. versus Luda, yeah, they both have anthems. They both have anthems. Maybe Ludacris is
And
a little bit more lyrical than
Luda
T.I.
is lyrical. Luda is a beast. Luda, people sleeping on Luda. He need to be on the verses, man. Luda, where you at?
Yep, it's Mikey T versus SV
Much
TWIZZ right
respect.
now.
Much respect. We just having barbershop conversation, y'all. Salute to everybody in here. It's all love, man.
Appreciate y'all. Are you talking about rap battle or versus battle? Because T.I. will out hit Jada easy.
You
But
crazy.
you gotta understand that even when it comes to let me take this twist, because even when it comes to a versus battle, like we saw with Dipset and the Locks, Dipset had those cool records. It's that Purple City dip, you know what I mean? It's that Purple City. They had all that shit. They had all those cool records, but when the Locks came with those joints that had all the heart, we gonna make it. All these records perfectly placed in time when he played I Get High. You know what I mean? All these records were perfectly placed. It's like I wanted to go into this twist. It's like the Locks actually sat together and put together their whole show, whereas when we watched it and saw promos on the internet, it looked like Dipset was doing that. Don't you remember seeing that promo of the Dipset at that poker table?
I saw that, and they was being extra. You know what I mean?
Extra.
They was being super extra on that, John, man.
They was filming a commercial. They should have been in the studio planning the show.
I'm trying to tell y'all, I can guarantee y'all Cam was too busy because Cam lived a life that he lived. He ain't have time. He was in his AI bag. Rehearse for what?
Or
practice. I don't need that. I'm Cam.
Yep. Yeah, I spoke to Ab about Low as well. I'm going to drop that information for y'all tomorrow. But, we got sidetracked yesterday, and we didn't get an opportunity to come on here and talk about the verses. So TWIZZ and I wanted to double back and cover that tonight. Since it was such an epic battle, I got to say, TWIZZ, this was probably the biggest verses since Gucci and Jeezy, right?
Yeah, it was. And the only reason Gucci and Jeezy was so big is because of their history. But I feel like this was the best verses that was ever done, only because the Locks gave a live performance. It wasn't no rapping over no songs. It wasn't no, they put the mic down for 3 seconds and you can still hear the words in the background. They gave a live concert, and they were the underdogs for some people. A lot of people was talking about the Dipset commercial. They more commercial, got more hits, and they proved the people wrong. They had to remind them, like, bro, we rap with Big, bro. Like, we was rubbing shoulders with Big and smoking shit back then. Don't forget.
General says Dipset is all bopper music. Locks are lyricists. They used to cipher with Biggie Smalls and learned stage presence from Diddy and DMX. Let that sink in. Yeah,
Facts.
when you're put in a position where you've got to go and record a verse 10 times, when you're put in a position where you're forced to go and get ready for your performances. You know what I mean? Like the Locks were they're like, listen, you're a member of Bad Boy. We've got a performance rehearsal today. You got one tomorrow. You got one the next day, and you better make sure you're there. Potentially all this shit was going on with the Locks when they were a member of that label. Now Dipset, independent, cool, you know what I mean? Too cool for school, as you said, I think.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Big
I remember one time watching it was MTV making the video, and it was I think it was Ja Rule and J-Lo for I'm Real, right? And they were trying to tell Ja Rule, they were like, Ja, it's time for you to come in and rehearse the dance segment with J-Lo. And he was like, rehearse the dance segment? What do you mean? I'm just gonna dance how I dance.
Facts. Facts, man. And with Kiss knocking that bandana off of Juelz' head, it's like we all know nobody consider fucking bandana on their head better than Juelz. So he like, man, get that shit. I'm sick of seeing that, man.
It's so perfectly propped up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nobody rock a bandana better than Juelz. That joint be sitting perfect, bro. He still got the same shaped head that he had when he was 18.
Yep. Facts, man. It's like you can't rehearse for that, can you, TWIZZ?
Real rap.
But if they would have rehearsed, then Juelz Santana wouldn't have been all the way over there. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. If I was Juelz, I would have waited till my turn to perform. I wouldn't even say nothing about him. I would have had to slam Kiss hat down myself, bro. Like, yeah, let me get that trophy back. You ain't about the young boy me.
So let's go into what Juelz was wearing at the beginning of the performance.
Man.
I saw one comment that I don't know if you saw this comment. It was a meme or something like that. Juelz Santana outfit looks like the side of my room with all of my clothes in the corner.
Bro, that boy done pulled everything out his closet, bro. Like, he had like 6 million on him. Louis, Gucci, Givenchy. He had, like, you couldn't even keep up with the designers. But at the end of the day, man, Juelz still that boy, man. Juelz was that boy, man. He was like, he brought so much energy to Dipset, man. And one thing about Juelz, he got a chance to enjoy himself. Juelz had a few past rough years, man. And I feel like Juelz, man, Juelz to and I don't want to keep bringing up state property, but Juelz to Dipset was like P.D. Crack to state property. Like, he was controlling the women crowd a lot. Like, you know, he was young and all of that. He was only 18 and younger than that when he came with Dipset. So salute to him, man. It's gonna be the memes and all of that. But at the end of the day, he's still out here, you know, and he was able to have a great night, man. So salute to both of them groups, definitely.
Yeah, and I just want to say, you know, this might be a bit of a strong controversial comment, but I don't think, you know, Dipset might have not been considered as strong as a label if they didn't have Juelz Santana there as well. I think Juelz Santana being on that label and actually taking off, aside from Cam and Jim, really showed so many other people from New York that they could potentially be thrust into that same position.
Facts. It's facts because Jim Jones wasn't active as he was after balling and things of that nature. It was always Juelz and Cam, you know what I'm talking about? And, you know, it was still a good job, man. It was still a good job. Like, but they could have put on more performance, man. Like at the joint where they should have had the boy that came out with the one leg doing that. What he do, the crip walk and all that on the video? They should have added a little more spunk to it because they need to be a little more entertaining on that stage.
Yeah, they needed to turn it into a Dipset party more. You know what I mean? They sort of needed to show that on the stage that it was a Dipset party a little bit more, I think.
Facts.
Now, for everybody just tuning in, I don't know if you missed it or not, but Ab gave us his thoughts on the Verzuz battle. So I'm going to read it right now for y'all if you're just tuning in. Ab said, I had heard about that Verzuz. I heard that the Locks crushed them. I kind of thought it would be a little bit closer than that because of Cam and all of his hits. But as a group, the Locks has more shit. But if I would have had to bet, I would have bet on the Locks. Everybody in Philly loves the Locks. We grew up on them. This is a tough one, bro, because I think Kiss had more longevity as being relevant than Cam, and I believe Kiss is better lyrically. That's where you agree, TWIZZ. That's where you agree with Ab.
I agree with that part.
But Ab continued on. He said, but I think Cam had the better solo albums. Cam's first album, Confessions of Fire, is one of the first albums I paid my own money for. I don't think Kiss had a better album than that or SDE. But Cam made the better business moves and probably made more money. And Cam changed the independent mixtape game. I am a huge fan of both of them. Now, TWIZZ, before we get into where you disagree with Ab, I think you probably agree with Ab when he says, but Cam made the better business moves and probably made more money and changed the independent and mixtape game. What's your take on that?
I gotta say allegedly. You gotta remember, man. I could have 10,000. You could have 10,000. We did it on the same day. You might make that 10,000 look better than my 10,000. Kiss was never nobody that you catch walking out with minks. I was surprised he had the chains on like he had on that night. The locks, they not no flashy type of guys. So nobody really know financially what Kiss made. Even through D Block, we gotta remember this guy that even you been talking about like they had their little issues allegedly with Bad Boy, but who knows how much money they really touch? You know what I mean? Who knows how much money Kiss really touch on some real rap? It's just that can make it look good. It's like one of these new young rappers. They be signed for 6 months. You be like, dang, this he got 17 cars, 300 chains. Like, you can make perception is a mug, bro. Like perception is everything. And I feel like
let me spit some facts to you, man. Styles P had an album on Interscope Records that sold 85,000 units. I believe it was the Time Is Money album. I might be mistaken. Jim Jones's solo album was on Koch, and it sold 94,000 first week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but Styles P kind of knew he needed to get off of that major, especially if they weren't going to do things for him.
Yeah, but I feel like Styles and Kiss is two different people. I feel like Kiss has made more money than everybody out the locks. You know what I'm talking about? Like Kiss is you know, where they be like where they talk about like the financial issues and all of that, you know what I mean? Nobody really knows, man. But Cam make it look real good. And on top of that, Cam was in movies like Paid in Full. He had Killer Season. You know, he was more active to the public for other situations. And I feel like Kiss should have definitely, I don't know why Kiss ain't had no major roles in movies. Just like
what about the other things that he did? You know, Cam made his own movies. Cam and all them, they got endorsed by liquor. You know, they got liquor sponsorships.
But you know why Cam is making them moves? Because of Dame. He got Dame. Dame is his man. Dame is a big business-minded man. You know what I'm talking about? They spoke on that plenty of times where it's like it's falling in your lap. You know what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, it's like do this, do that. Just like he had made Cam president of the Rock once upon a time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you got somebody coaching you and putting you in position,
I will agree with you there. You know, a lot of it has to do with release dates, actually getting release dates for albums, getting labels to actually put a release date on an album. We all know Jadakiss had the trilogy album, the Kiss trilogy album, but then, you know, then he came out with Top 5 Dead or Alive, and it was like a long period in between albums.
Well, you know why I feel like Cam, as far as sales, make more than Kiss albums is because Kiss do it mainly for the streets, regardless of his few songs that he got with the women, like with Mariah Carey features, Mary J. Blige features.
Apparently, that was a Grammy-nominated Mariah Carey track. So
yeah,
I'm eating my words.
Yeah, they still legends. They got a lot of joints with Mariah and things of that nature. But I feel like Cam wasn't just rapping; he was more business-minded when he was making the music. You gotta remember, Cam didn't rap like that at first. Cam rapped like everybody else. You know what I mean? He rapped like everybody else, like the Locks and all of them once upon a time. Oh, man, I trash academics, man.
Oh, so they want me against Vlad. They want Mikey T against Vlad. And they want TWIZZ against academics.
Academics too much of a square for me, man. I have him stuttering, man. Ack, what's up?
What's up, Ack? Come and give us that deal, Ack. We ready for you, bro. We going to Cali if academics calls, TWIZZ?
We out there, man. We out there. We taking the Bentley out there, Mikey.
What's this right here? Black Moon versus Lost Boys. Foxy versus Little Kim, which actually, guys, everybody watching this, I actually got Capone to speak on Foxy Brown dissing Little Kim on the CNN album.
Boogie Down
Everybody
Bronx. Salute to you,
hit
Boogie
that
Down
link.
Bronx. That's a true New Yorker right there, man. Salute to you. I'm going with Kim because Foxy wasn't as consistent. But Foxy back then, Foxy was definitely that work, but Lil Kim is just Lil Kim. Little Kim is like the original. Little Kim was before Foxy.
Fat says
Yeah,
Kim would wash her.
yeah. Kim would definitely wash her. Especially Foxy now. Foxy didn't, nothing against
King Smog,
Foxy, but she
King
lost her
Smog,
talent. She unfortunately she lost her talent.
Yep, I'm with Kim too.
Yeah.
Foxy, Kim is money.
Kim
Foxy
Kim is
versus
a
Kim.
legend.
Foxy versus Kim is money, or Little Kim versus Nicki Minaj is money.
They both money, but Remy might end up putting hands on Nicki on that stage. If Nicki say the wrong thing.
No, not Remy, bro.
Remy don't play no games. Remy deserve the respect. She demand that respect.
Yeah, that's one of the popular ones they're saying.
Remy versus Nicki, that already kind of happened though, didn't it? They was just on wax stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you, but Nicki got better music than Remy.
Remy Ma versus Trina.
I mean, I don't know. Didn't Trina versus somebody? Didn't Trina versus Eve?
Did they?
I think they versus. Anybody in the comments, let me know. I think my wife was telling me about that, John. I think Trina and Eve did a versus. Actually, I really strongly believe they did. Remy would mop the floor just off her stage presence. Nicki would be shook. But Nicki got better music than Remy, but Remy is solid. Like Remy's solid all the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
Trina already did. Yep.
Yep, they're saying they did. Yeah, Trina's definitely trash. Nah, Trina's dope, man. What the hell's wrong with you? Trina's bad and she's great.
Trina got hits, but I think her verses wasn't as good as it should have been, from what I heard.
Griselda versus MOP. That just seems like a little bit too much new school versus old school to me.
Yeah.
Although I love MOP, I'm not good. Don't get me. I would like to see MOP versus CNN.
Yeah, that would be a good John right there. That would
I would
definitely
watch
be a
MOP
good John.
and CNN for sure.
Yeah, that would be a good John.
Maybe I would like to see Griselda versus AR Rab and Dark Low. Right? Griselda versus OBH.
Yeah, Griselda versus OBH. OBH is smoking.
Man, come on, man.
OBH would smoke Griselda. Griselda got the machines behind them, man.
Okay. They're saying Griselda versus GS9. So Benny, Conway, and Westside versus Bobby and Rowdy. Okay. I like it. Waiting on that. Yeah. And we're going to be back to talk about that Phillies Lady B because Ab actually touched on Nori versus Beanie Siegel as well. So TWIZZ and myself will be back on a future date to talk about that as well.
Yeah, they got to make that happen.
Griselda versus Slaughterhouse, maybe. Okay, that might be a little bit.
Yeah, that's a potential John right there.
Cormega versus Nas. I don't think it'll ever happen.
They need a Nas versus Jay-Z versus.
Yeah, like Nas versus maybe 50 Cent or something like that. Ooh, yo, TWIZZ, don't go too in on him, bro. You know French is my bro.
I know French is bro. I did go by me, but can see much love and respect to you. Can see you always show love, but we know that's a lie. French Montana better step in the stage with somebody like Waka Flocka or something. French Montana not lyrical. You know, he's not lyrical. He make great music, but he's not lyrical enough.
What about French versus T.I.?
No, Ti would mock French. French in a bracket of his own, man. French is in the bracket of his own. Facts. Kiss will mop him up. Those two can even get mentioned. French wouldn't even want to battle Kiss, man. Yeah, he's
Oh,
not. It's impossible. Not in a million years.
yeah, another person actually put up another battle for 50 Cent here. What was it? Game versus 50 Cent. So that's 50 Cent has the most possible versus battles, TWIZZ. Ja Rule, Game, uh, Rick Ross.
50 a
As
smoke game now.
as we mentioned earlier, Jadakiss would be interesting, but 50 in an interview actually said with everybody going back outside, there's not really any point in doing versus battles.
50 wouldn't do a versus because he too business minded. He out here putting out Power Book 3 and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The BMF series about to drop. He in a different bracket. That's like seeing Hove. Like 50 is the closest person to Jay-Z as far as what they did in the industry and success wise. So those 50 and Hove is two people that we probably never get to see in the verses.
Wow. Paw Pitt said Jada did a versus with Fabulous already, and Kiss smoked Fab. Sorry. Not sorry, bro. Thanks for actually adding in your thoughts, Paw Pitts 206. Appreciate that. We had actually mentioned that versus a little bit earlier in the show as well. But I appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. TWIZZ is right back here with us. TWIZZ,
Yeah,
you
my
just
phone
missed this
died.
comment. You just missed the comment. It was basically oh, okay. What about this? They have T.I. versus Wheezy.
Weezy is smoke Ti.
They said that Jada smoked Fab too.
That was a dog fight. It was a dog fight. You know what I'm talking about? They are two like they nice. Yeah, he did give way more better fight than Dipset. Fab is hot though. Like Fab can really rap. He's like, they in the same bracket.
Hell yeah, man. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight on the live. Yo, TWIZZ, let everybody know where they can follow you on the gram, man. Let everybody know where they can stay in tune with you. Or would you rather them follow you on YouTube?
It don't matter, man. My IG is underscore Twiz 215. You know what I'm saying? Come show some love. You know what I'm talking about? My YouTube channel, Life with the Philly Fam, or you could type in SV Twiz. You know what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I keep it raw and uncut on the channel. You know, I definitely got some good interviews on there, some good city vlogs, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I carry it. Got a short film out with Vodka starred in it, a couple of my guys. You know what I mean? We shot it's real deep. It's called Torn Apart. So if y'all ain't see the short film, make sure y'all tune into it. It's a good John and I'm in the making of doing another one. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be another special guest on that movie that's in the making right now. But we keeping it rolling, man. Salute to everybody in here. Much love and respect. You know what I'm saying? We
I
definitely had fun.
I just posted SV TWIZZ's YouTube right now, so everybody go follow him. Like he said, he's got interviews up there, couple classic joints as well with Bully and Oskino, but he's also got his short film that you all can check out. So it's a lot of good content for y'all. Everybody follow TWIZZ right now, right there. And I also want you guys to follow me back. We're gonna stay here giving you this consistent information. Follow Mikey T for a follow back. And TWIZZ, let's not give them too much, but let's give a little bit of an indicator of what we're gonna be doing on our next show, bro. Beanie Siegel versus Nori. The whole internet's been talking about it. They have an official interview on Drink Champs, so we're gonna address it. You know, a lot of people say Nori has some major hits. Nori even said he's gonna bring the War Report with him. So what does Beanie have to contend with all that, bro?
Beanie got a rabbit under the hat. You know what I'm talking about? Like, let's not forget, Beans is one of the last artists that had Mars. Salute Mars. Beans one of the last artists that had Hove in his bag. This is back when Hove was like really, really attached to the streets. This was before the corporate Hove. Let's not forget. It's gonna be a good joint. And salute to Nori for like I said, for even mentioning Beans' name, man. He could have mentioned anybody name. He could have mentioned Method Man name. He could have mentioned, you know, I'm talking about like people from the early '90s. It's a reason why he mentioned Sieg. Nori don't want the people to forget about Sieg. Sieg was like like man. Sieg was different, man. Sieg was a lot different.
So everybody, I want you guys to check out my new interview with Capone. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I want you all to click on the link. It's pinned up right now. And go check out my new interview with Capone. I think y'all are going to love it. It's a lot of information that you all have never heard before. So as soon as we end this live, I want everybody to go click on my new interview. And if you want me to follow you back right now, follow me on Instagram. Follow Mikey T for a follow back. I will follow everybody back that's watching this video right now. Everybody that is watching this video, I will follow you back in conjunction with it. Follow SV TWIZZ as well. We're both about to get off here, and we'll follow everybody that follows us back.
Definitely.
But go and check out my interview with Capone. I think it's a classic. Y'all got to watch it. TWIZZ, you want to sign us off, bro?
Definitely, man. This is Mikey T, the movie star on SB TWIZZ, man. Y'all know how we carry it, man. You know what I'm talking about? We keep it to the curve. Much love and respect to everybody in here. Like I said, we stay on, we keep it on good vibes. This just nothing but a little barbershop topic right here. You know what I'm saying? But we push it to the max, man. Stay tuned for more for more content. And it's only one way from here, man, and that's up, man. That's for everybody. Much love and respect. We out this jump. Y'all already know.